All right, so we're going to be talking about another comic from the haul Chris has been sending me, and that is Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, Volume 2, The Invader. That's a mouthful. I think I'll just call it Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. Yeah, so this is part of the Colin Kelly, Jackson Lanning run that was short-lived, and it was basically, I guess you could call this and the Captain America Symbol of Truth run the Cold War saga, which it all culminated into a Captain America-centric event called Cold War. And while I did say in my Symbol of Truth review that the Symbol of Truth stuff really felt kind of on its own thing, the whole Cold War storyline happens in Sentinel of Liberty. So to catch everybody up on what this is about, because it's been a while since I did the first volume review. What happened is that Cap and Sam, as well as Bucky, discovered this secret organization called the Outer Circle, who have been trying to manipulate events of the world for so long, which I do think is a kind of a played out kind of storyline, but it was pretty interesting because it takes a new turn when, in order to stop the Outer Circle, Bucky actually joins them to try, because it's a game that they're all playing against one another. It's like they're basically all these powerful people trying to take over the world by playing this game and outplaying one another. And the Revolution, one of the members was killed by Bucky, and Bucky took his place as the New Revolution. And betrayed Steve, betrayed everybody. So Steve now, in this second volume, is going after the Outer Circle, but he needs outside help. And he actually gets the idea from having a conversation with Namor, of all people. Yeah, it's a bad time when Namor the Submariner gives you advice. Steve's having a rough time when Namor the Submariner is the one oh, don't feel bad, pal. It's a bad day. It's a bad day. Anyway, so, Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. This comic is, like I said, it's Steve now going on the offensive alongside Sharon Carter, and getting some other members, and actually creating a new incarnation of the Invaders. However, before they can launch their attack, they get their minds screwed with and thrown out in the middle of Kansas, and Lower Manhattan has been now taken over by AIM and a new version of MODOK. So the team has to, which consists of Steve, of course, Sharon Carter, Peggy, who's secretly working for Bucky, this organic robot called the Redacted, which they met in Volume 1 and teamed up with him, Nick Fury, although I know it's supposed to be Ultimate Nick Fury, or Nick Fury's son. It's the one that's based off of Sam Jackson. And I don't know, I've heard two things, it's supposed to be the Ultimate Universe Nick Fury that got brought over, and they're just calling him Nick Fury from now on, or it's Nick Fury's son, because that was a whole thing post Fear Itself, where they're it's Nick Fury's son, and he goes by Nick Fury because they couldn't have Nick Fury from... I've said Nick Fury like I'm having a fucking stroke. The Fury from the Ultimate Universe, which the Sam Jackson MCU one is based off of, in this universe. So I don't know. Can someone clarify if they're still trying to say it's his son, or they're just saying oh, this has always been Nick Fury now? Because I know Nick Fury Sr. is still was still the Watcher until the end of the Empire run. The other members of this team consists of Clint, who doesn't really do much, and another character called Destroyer, who is a classic Invaders character as well. The comic itself is really cool. I've been really digging this whole Outer Circle thing, even though, yes, I did say, I do get kind of burnout on this, because Marvel and DC do this all the time, where it's this secret organization that you never knew about, and they've been manipulating things this whole time. And then, I guarantee you, 2-3 years from now, we'll get another comic where it's it's another super secret organization that's gonna change everything. Right? Anyway. So, the comic itself is... I like the action in here. I really enjoy the fast pace of it. And seeing MODOK and Emma Frost in this comic, one of my favorite mutants and one of my favorite Marvel villains. in this comic, I'm always happy to see MODOK be a credible threat. And trust me, MODOK is treated as like a legit threat. I like how they utilize Emma for a quick moment. That was a lot of fun. And this comic really celebrates, the world of Captain America, like Steve's own little world, Sharon, the Destroyer, Namor, even, all the characters you could think of that are still alive in Steve's world, coming together to help. So this series has been a lot of fun. I know it's just all build up to Cold War, and I'm curious to see how this will all play out with Peggy. And now, again, I haven't read anything about Cold War, so I'm kind of going into it cold, almost. But yeah, the next time you see me doing and also Chris did send me the J. Michael Straczynski run, the first volume of the JMS Captain America run, so that'll be later on down the road. But the next time you see me review a Captain America book, it will be Cold War, and shockingly, they did another book called Cold War Aftermath, which I figured they would all just do all the wrap-up and every part of the story in one big trade, and yeah. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you want to read like a cool spy superhero kind of story, yeah, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, and Symbol of Truth. Even though that first volume of Symbol of Truth, I really had a problem with how they treated Wakanda. It's all really great. It's a solid book. I've been really liking it, and I'm curious to see what happens in Cold War. So yeah, like I said, next time you see me review a Captain America book, it will be the Cold War story. Anyway, once again, I'd like to thank Chris for this comic, and other than that, if you've read Captain America Sentinel of Liberty and the entirety of the Cold War saga, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.